Today we have two talented young men who are very passionate about what they do. One is a creative writer. The other is part of an organization that is centered and geared towards governance issues, especially from the angle of the youth. We have Adeoye Salem. Great to have you.
It's always nice to be.
You've been very busy, I can see. Last time I saw you on the stage, if I remember.
Yes.
And now, well, it's good to have you as a creative writer. I'm gonna need a lot from you very soon. And of course, we have the founder of the Ambassador Summit Group, a group basically of young leaders who address governance issues.
Thank you.
And I have Joshua Oyeni.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Great to have you.
It's a pleasure.
First time on TV?
No, for the Upton time. I've been here a number of times.
Okay,
yes.
Good. So I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page on that particular one. But great to have you.
It's a pleasure.
The issue of youth governance 2019, we touched on it briefly with Brother Shaggy, who is
amazing submissions.
He's well on his way. Very fine boy. I think he's going to catch his bus. But the point is, on a serious note, we're looking at the issue of this herdsmen menace. Let's start with that. We had two female school teachers on Thursday attacked by suspected gunmen, herdsmen. We have the issue of being heavily armed. Numerous attacks have happened. And of course, last but not the least, is the land grazing law, which might or might not set about a new set of conflicts and issues. So let's start with the issue of the herdsmen menace. And why do you think it has become such a menace and action hasn't been taken?
Well, I think one word puts it, it looks like nepotism here. Because, you know, if you happen to be the president of a 180 million people, and of course it's assumed that you are the president, you are the leader, the father of the nation. When there are issues in your land or issues in your family, you have to bring peace to the table. You have to call the parties that are erring, you know, to order. But in this case, we have seen, you know, a sinful silence, as it were, from the presidency.
Why do you think that is?
That's what I'm saying. It looks like the picture of nepotism. These are my brothers. These are my people. So I don't want to come too hard on them so that when I leave office, they won't feel that I betrayed them or something. Or maybe because, you know, it feels I also have a cattle ranch somewhere in the north, and so I don't want to look as if I betrayed my fellow business brothers. But it's not supposed to be that way, because this nation belongs to everybody. And if a certain set of people, just as small as they are, begin to go out and massacre and kill people.
Yeah, the Agatu massacre was one, and the Benue as well. Really terrible.
The Benue people are one of the most peaceful set of people in this country. So peaceful, I've been there. These guys don't have any issues with anybody. So how come you go in there, you rampage the whole place, you kill them in their tens, in their hundreds, and then the president is not doing anything? You know,
before we go on, we need to realize that this is an inherited problem.
But was it this
but now
some are saying it's been around. But
it's been around.
I mean, AK-47, you have herdsmen. What are they guarding?
It's gone out of hand now. And like he said, why I had to make sure, why I had to cut him was because of the fact that it's been around. We've always had this issue of Hausa Fulani in every community that they stay. A lot of us need to take our minds back to Shagamu. You understand? It's been there. It's been there. There's always been one issue or the other. But the point is, it's not being properly managed now because it's gone out of hand.
Why do you think it has escalated?
He mentioned the issue of nepotism. I don't want to use such strong words, but I want to say the fact
Let's break down nepotism, please, for those who might not know.
It basically means favoring your own people, you know, from your own clan, from your own sect, you know, above others. And that's what it looks like. We can't just run away from it. But then, like he's saying, of course, it's good to look at it. It's escalating. But we're just finishing with the Boko Haram. This same issue, these same people emanated from the north. And right now, we're looking at herdsmen again from the same north.
Some are saying they're not actually from the north. Some are saying they're from neighboring towns. They're not even Nigerians.
They are not deployed the full weight of the army, of the military.
It's going to be very challenging when you want to just attack that and head on and say, okay, look, you're not Nigerians. How do you identify those that are Nigerians? You need to understand the fact that these guys are nomadic.
Agreed.
So they go from place to place. So we have to find a system where we can actually recognize those who are actually Nigerians.
Well, the system has been proposed, which is the ranching.
The first oath that the president took was the oath to protect lives and property.
We agree, but the issue of, let me take you from where you said about the issue of a way out. Ranching has been proposed. The land use, land grazing law has been. Let's start with the ranching. Do you think that will work?
It's not going to work. These are people who go out, who come out in the middle of the night, kill people, innocent people. And then you're now saying, let's create community, let's create colonies in different states where for them to graze.
Isn't it more orderly and tidy?
We think it is if these guys are not harmed. But we're looking at people who come in the middle of the night with guns, machetes, spears.
Joshua, what's your take?
Are we going to create colonies and ranches or farms for poultry farmers or for fish farmers?
That's
for those
you're putting in particular.
Are we going to start doing that? These are private businessmen. Why not create your own capital, buy your own lands, and then grow, graze. Have them graze on their own lands. Why begin to interfere with private businesses? It doesn't make any sense to the federal government. And I think that this is taking on our sensitivity, our intelligence. It's like saying we don't know what we're doing, and so because of that, you won't take advantage of your position as a president to override the interests of a nation. And I think this has to stop.
Do you think the state governors have a role to play in this, since most of this happens at the state
level?
They
do, but a lot of the state governors have been very quiet. They've been very quiet.
Some have been vocal. Some are even saying
those that have been vocal are not the affected states, are not the states where you can call the Hausa Fulani colonies. Well, you need to look at the fact that Benue State governor, for instance, Benue State has been affected dearly.
Directly.
Recently, Ogun State has been affected. Now look at the proximity to the north. That's Benue State closer to the north, Ogun State here in the southwest. And we're looking at these governors, and you now want to create ranches, you want to create colonies. That means you're empowering these people to go out and do more harm.
Let's take a look at the land grazing law. What's that about?
Well, basically, it's like saying you are empowering them to be able to go around and take other people's lands and then graze their cattle. And at the end of the day, they're surviving at the expense of other people's means of income.
It's a systemic form of invasion.
Basically, it's invasion. Invade on people's property, on people's rights, and taking away what belongs to them just because you want to satisfy a set of people. And it's like you're doing it because they are being violent. So when you begin to do this, what you're saying is a new set can arise tomorrow and say we'll start killing people just because they want to demand for something, and then you also give them what they
sets a bad precedent.
This is my fear about the old grazing law. Now you're creating a colony for people to come and graze cattle in my community, and if there's a quarrel, they attack me in the middle of the night. What if I take up arms and decide to defend myself and go out after them in the middle of the night? So what we're creating are time bombs that will definitely explode at some point in time.
And guess what? Nigerians have had enough. If you Nigerians have decided that, see, we must stand up for a new Nigeria. We must begin to think new. We must begin to think aright. What is going on? What's wrong with the system? And if nobody's going to listen to us, then why not let's take out our time and begin to work out. Some Nigerians have decided that from tomorrow, they're going to walk from Lagos to Abuja on a new Nigerian national walk. And they're going to solidarize with Nigerians and say, come on, we are tired of this. And so I believe we need to give voice to our people. Look at what the president said. He gave voice to the millions of thoughts that we are having all over the country to say we are tired of this system narrative. Nigeria is being said. Look at what the president of Ghana said about us, about Nigeria. He said this is not Nigeria where people go around and kill people and just to take their lands. We can't allow that.
They even seem to have shown a bit more deliberate action and enforcement in Ghana with respect to addressing.
That's what you wouldn't blame them. You need to understand it's a bit more complex. Nigeria is a more complex state.
But some of the opinion that there's a simple solution to this.
There is a simple solution.
If you profile, we need to be very careful when we say there's a simple solution to this. It's more complex than we think.
Nigerians are too used to using the word complex. We complicate everything.
You think we complicate everything?
Simple. Respect the rule of law. Respect lives. If anybody goes against those rules, deal with them decisively. That's simple.
Do you think registration will be a way out to register these herdsmen?
Why register them? Why give such preference? Why? Are they special? Are they angels? Are they aliens? Why do we have to go out? Why are they national issue?
If we register them, are we registering them as a form of business, or we're registering?
I don't know. If you register them, does that mean you can now tax them?
Yeah, that's the point.
You see,
that's what I'm saying. It's much more complex than what we think it is. It's not something we can sit down and just profess solutions. It's something we have to tackle head on. Take the individuals involved. Look at the states involved. Trace the history of the problem.